Welcome back, everybody, to our third installment in our Skyrim lighting mod tests. Now, we've looked at ELE effect shadows, we've looked at Lux, and today we're going to be looking at Relighting Skyrim and ELE, the combination of the two, which I realized we didn't do before, but these two mods, they're by the same mod author, and they do things in different ways. So, in a nutshell, to sum it up, Relighting Skyrim, what that does is essentially it puts light sources where they should be and removes them from where they shouldn't be. And very quickly, for those that may not know, there's a difference between lights and light sources. A sconce with a fire in it, or a torch, or a candle, it's a light. It's not a light source. It doesn't illuminate light. So what they did when they developed the game is they would put candles and torches and stuff in a room, and then they would increase the ambient light level, that's just the overall light level of the room, to make it appear that those lights were illuminating the room, but there wouldn't be any actual light sources. So Relighting Skyrim puts light sources where they should be, you know, with the candles, with the torches, with the sconces, etc. Now ELE works with the overall light levels, the lighting template, the ambient light. It reduces that quite a bit. So the two work together pretty well. You can look at the mod authors pages to get more details on exactly what they do. As a little disclaimer here, I had originally installed the two most recent versions of Relighting Skyrim and ELE, and the most recent version of Relighting Skyrim that included window shadows. And I went through and I recorded the whole thing, and I decided to scrap it, and I'll tell you why. Everybody has different likes and dislikes and different wants and needs in the way they want their game to look and the mods that help achieve that. So for me, because my next Let's Play is going to be a stealthy character, and I talked about this before, how I'm going to be using a mod called Realistic AI Detection, and I really needed clearly defined areas of light and shadow. That for me is the priority. That's what I want, that's what I need. So the window shadows, although it's a beautiful effect, the immersion is fantastic and I love it, it has to be secondary to those other things. But again, that's me. That's for what I'm looking for. I had those two most recent updated versions installed. I went through and I was a little disappointed. The overall light levels were brighter, the light sources were brighter. It was not the same as what I've used before, because I have used this combination before. In fact, there's a playlist on my channel called Legend of the Necroassassin, and if you watch any one of those videos, even the first one where I'm going through Fort Greymore, you'll see just how incredibly dark that is. So this was nowhere near what I was getting before, and it would not meet my needs as a stealthy player using realistic AI detection. Also, the window shadows was not really of the quality of the other two mods. So, I mean, here's an image right here of Dragon's Reach. Now, clearly there's light coming in from the windows, and those pillars are casting shadows, but that's about as far as it went. You didn't have, the window frames weren't casting shadows, and outside things like trees, you know, the branches and the leaves and stuff were not casting any shadows. The immersion factor wasn't there with the window shadows, and it was way too bright for what I needed. So I went to the mod pages and I looked at which versions I had downloaded before, and I've installed two older versions. So the version of Relighting Skyrim that I have in now, which is an older version, is 1.0.6, and ELE is 1.2.1. Those are from 2018. So that's what we're going to be looking at today. So I hate to take up all this time with disclaimers, but it's important, and I know this isn't really quite the same comparison with the other two because this does not include window shadows, but again, for me, that has to be secondary for my playstyle. So we still want to focus on the lighting itself, because even though it doesn't have the window shadows, the lighting itself, it may have what I need and what I'm looking for. And that's important, like I already said, that for my play style and what I'm going to be doing. Anyhow, here we are, Ember Shard again. Well, before I grab that, this is pretty bright right here. But I ran through here and in Bleak Falls Barrow a little bit before starting this recording. And believe me, Bleak Falls Barrow, it's darker. A lot. So we can't go by just what's here. But that's why we look at different interiors. Grab a couple of these. But this is pretty bright right here. Play with a frosty skeleton. Guys are not much competition. Well, they're a level 1 and he's an apprentice level, so you should be kicking your ass. Don't look all like, yo, I'm tough, man, look at me. You're a level 10, they're a level 1. Anyway. The area of illumination looks a little bit less here. But the overall lighting is pretty good. I probably have enough torches by now. Let's get this drawbridge down and take care of those idiots. Got the shadow casting light right here. Are they going to show up this time or not? Doesn't look like it. It's so strange how sometimes they do and sometimes they don't. But I came in the back way to grab my spells out of that chest, and I wonder if that disables this. The two that come running through here. Oh well, who cares? So I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see that, but I can see all the definition in the ceiling. It's not bright, but it's light enough that you can see what you're doing. And I don't know how dark this is going to be when it gets uploaded. That'll be interesting to see. Same thing here. I can see all the rocks and stuff in the ground. There's bushes and everything, but it'll be interesting to see how visible this is after it's been uploaded. Look at you run right past him. Again. Just totally ignoring my summons. Yeah, let's get up a different one. Since we're on a skeleton thing, these torches seem to be kind of bright. Get over there and take care of that, man. He's just going to stand there. Well, it's not too dark. I like the shadow casting light down there. That's a bit bright. Alright, let's just get rid of this guy. So overall the light levels are pretty good here. I prefer it to be a little bit darker, but that's something that can be adjusted with the ENB, of course. Before I make any determinations, we'll have to see the other interiors, because Bleak Falls Barrow is going to look a little bit different than here. Take one more look up from this angle. There's a glow of light right there, but it's not really window lighting like we had before. ENB off, ENB on. Well, that's a lot nicer with the ENB. I'm so glad I was able to upgrade my system a few years ago. You know, to where I could actually install an ENB, because there was a time when it just, my system just couldn't handle it. There's a piece of my latest mod I'm working on, Emberwood Bar. Haven't done anything new with it yet, but maybe a little bit later today. We'll see what happens. I got some other things to do after this.
To do something.
I said no. No adventures, no theatrics, no thief chasing.
Well, what are you going to do then, huh? Let's hear it.
We are done talking about this.
It's fairly bright in here, actually.
A customer. Sorry you had to hear that.
But again, no window lighting. That's a shadow casting light right there. Still, I like the shadow casting lights. Alright, Sleeping Giant Inn.
Orgnar, are you listening?
Hard not to.
He's always giving her lip. That's hilarious. Seems brighter in here than I remember. It's possible because there's only a limited number of archived mods that are showing up. It's possible that I even used an older version than what I have in right now. But again, you can see there's no window lights. There might be a little bit of fill light right there, but not quote window lights. Let's do the ENB test here. Let's see, ENB effect. Interior brightness. This is what I mean. If you find a lighting mod that gets the lighting really close to where you like it, but the overall brightness may be a little too high or too low, and you're running an ENB, you can fine tune it right from here. See if you're really hardcore. Alright, enough of that. Let's proceed. Off to Bleak Falls Barrow. Let's see, who do you want to send in right now next? I'm kind of thinking Embers ought to be fun. Look at that profile. Very nice. He wants Sovngarde, apparently.
I can take you.
3 up, 3 down, right, man? That's right. Alright, let's see what we got. See, this is quite a bit darker in here than we had before. Now, obviously, we have some light coming in here from those holes in the ceiling. But the overall light level in here is pretty dark, and it's a little strange because, you know, Ember Shard seemed lighter than I would have expected. And then when you compare it to here, this is a lot darker. Go on, you got one more. He's a little slow. It's the person with the bow and arrow. There you go. Alright, now let's take a look at this. This fire here, the area of illumination is, I think it's quite a bit smaller than we had before. And not quite as bright. And this is what I'm talking about. This is, you know, it's very dark right here because there's no light sources. Man, they're noisy. But this looks really nice, though. If you know, if you're looking for something that's has a good creep factor and has got some dark areas, this is definitely a combination to consider. So when I came through here before with the latest versions, I never once had to consider breaking out a torch, but we may have to with this one. This is it's going to be a lot darker. See what I mean? Even with that light source right there, it's pitch black here. Well, not quite, but it's pretty damn dark. Some of these still have pretty large light source radiuses. Is it radii? I don't know. So you have right here this stretch of shadowy area. This is a good example of talking about areas where clearly defined areas of light and shadow. You've got some clear illumination, obvious illumination around that light source, and some around this one, and it's very dark in between. Again, right here it's very dark. Yeah, I'm just gonna let that go. Go ahead and kill yourself already. Seems like it's a little bit lighter over on this side, but, well, I don't know. Maybe not. This one's got a sconce there as well, but not all of them do. And the most recent version, I think they took the light source and the fire out of this middle one. It just had the two outer ones. Shadow casting. But you can see this area by the gate where there's no direct light from those light sources. See how dark that is? I love that. Same thing here. It's pretty dark in this room. But then you've got the obvious light source right there. But it's not illuminating the entire room. And this is what ELE does, is it lowers this ambient light level. In some cases it just removes it completely. And it may adjust, it may do that with custom templates or using a different lighting template. But if there's not a light source close by, it's quite dark. Let's dispatch the vermin. Come on, don't be shy. The fire won't hurt you much. This looks good. Actually, this one I think was a shadow casting light before, and this one it's not.
Is someone coming? Is that you, Hartnir? You, Soling. I know I ran into.
This is really bright right here. Pretty big bright light source right here. I'll let our boy take care of that.
Keep it away from me. Don't leave me for Arcade's sake.
Oh, I'm not going to leave
Don't
you.
leave me for Arcade's sake. It's coming loose. Feel it. You fool. Why should I share the treasure with anyone?
I'll let the Draugr have their fun with him. Alright, let's do a little walking here. See if we can't get a little creep factor going. See how dark this room is? This is what I'm talking about, needing a torch. This is insanely dark. And because I've used this mod before, I know there are times when you have to break out a torch, because even though you can see how to get out of a room, you can miss stuff. You'll miss stuff laying around. Soul gems, you'll miss a chest over in the corner somewhere. Alright, Draugr time. Let's see. Let's put, let's do that. We'll give him a little bit of sunshine. Since I remember to grab the spells this time. Okay, here's another example of areas of light and shadow. You see, we've got illumination from this sconce right here. That flame isn't illuminating it, but there's a light source sitting here right on top of it. And there's some down there, but you can see this strip of shadow right here is where the light sources aren't reaching that. And that's ambient light, which is turned way down. That's why you had that strip of shadow. But that's what I mean. It's very obvious where the illuminated areas are and where the shadowy areas are. So if you're playing stealthy, this is where you want to stay. This is where you want to be hanging out. Well, it appears Draugrs don't like the sun. Is it Draugrs or is it Draugr? Aw, poor Arville. What happened? The gate get you? So the lighting in this room looks pretty good. We've got a nice stretch of shadow right here behind this pillar, and it's quite dark. And again, with the mod I'm going to be using with Raid, you need these shadowy areas. You have to stay in these because, like I said, you get near light sources, you get detected. Come on, wake up. There we go. Only took 5 tries. Come on, dude. Come get you some. Wow. Smacked by the gate and then slammed into a pillar. You had a worse day than Orville. Here we go again. Another dark, shadowy area. That one sounds close and I can't see him. See, if you're going to be fighting the undead, and get sun spells. More efficient than fire. Because I designed them that way. Looks like there's, well, I can't really tell how many light sources are in here. Probably just 2. Because there's a lot of these little candles scattered around. But the radius has been increased to so you don't have one light source at every candle. While dealing with all these Draugr doesn't have much to do with the lighting video, but, you know, it's fun to beat up on them, so why not? Creep factor? I think there's creep factor. Look how dark it is right here. I mean, you can get through here without the torch, but because you can see where the next light source is. Alright, in my favorite room. This room almost always looks good. Yep. Okay. Well, to keep things fair, I guess we should go to Whiterun and take a look at the interiors there. There won't be window shadows, but I mean, we could do that, or we can continue with Bleak Falls Barrow. I'm actually considering maybe we should continue with Bleak Falls. Well, we can't get all the way through. I didn't grab the claw. Now let's go to Whiterun. Let's try to keep things even. Alright, outside Dragon's Reach again. Another beautiful sunrise. Got a few clouds on the horizon, maybe some weather's moving in. Let's pop inside and take a look. Overall, very bright in here. Oh, this is weird. I didn't expect it to be this bright. No window shadows, but that's strange. I thought Dragon's Reach was a lot darker with these mods in. Well, we've got some shadows up here that I don't know if that's because of light from that window, or you can see the illumination in this fireplace is a lot bigger, a lot brighter. And you would expect that. I mean, that's a lot of fire in there. We got a little bit of flickering there. Too many light sources. I don't have one. Yeah, this is overlapping light sources that causes that. Even your torch will do that because it activates a light source. Alright, next.
Are those two at it again? Just keep moving. You'll wear them out. Hey, watch it.
Oh, the lighting in here is pretty nice.
Going to enjoy killing you.
I don't get that. I don't know why Dragon's Reach looked the way it did. It really didn't look very good, but the lighting in here is pretty good. You got a big shadow casting light source up there.
You think you stand a chance?
You've got a little bit of glow around these windows. That might be fill light, which is what I have in my house mod. That's interesting. This looks good though.
I'll see you burn.
I'm despite, you know, not having the window shadows. You still got pretty good lighting in here. Plenty of illumination around this giant fire pit. It's casting shadows.
Killing you.
Nice lighting back here. This looks good. Alright.
That's all you've got.
Oh, wow. It's a little bit bright in here. I forgot to look at this with the Lux. But I figure we'll pop in and check it out now. That almost hurts the eyes.
Anything you like.
Arcadia's. The hell's that noise coming from? Oh, I think that's something locked from the temple.
Tonics, salves, poultices, and potions on my shelves. Browse to your heart's content.
Lighting in here looks pretty good too. So, you know, you've got a light source here around this fire pit, and you can see there's illumination around the individual candles. The ambient light level is turned down a little bit, or it's not been removed.
For all ills, and I'll be happy to serve you.
Be anything you like.
Ah, that sound is stuck. There's that one priest was healing somebody in the temple, and that sound file was playing when we left. A little bit bright in here as well.
Make any deal.
How much for that damaged pot?
I can tell you discriminate.
Let's see. See, doesn't aggro the living.
See anything you like.
Got a lot of illumination coming from out there. Even though the back of the fireplace is a little bit dark. Now this is
You look like someone who knows how to wield a weapon. Well, you've come to the right place.
this brightness right here. This looks like fill light, and I was saying before that's what I put in my house mod around the windows. It's set for the emittance on those is set that it gets bright during the daytime hours and it goes out at night. It's a really cool effect because then the windows and the area around them go
Everything
dark.
you see here was made with skill and care by my wife, Adrienne.
Got a lot of illumination from that fireplace. All right.
See anything you like.
Nice shadow casting light right here in the middle. Got what looks like a fill light up there as well. Now the fill light is just like any other light source
I'm sure we can
for the
make you
most part. I mean, I haven't really seen any difference except that the color of the light is kind of a soft white instead of a yellow or an orange glow like you might get from a candle light or torch light. Those are other light sources that exist. There's a bunch of them. There's probably like 200 or different varieties, different colors.
If you have need of hunting supplies, then you've come to the right place.
But yeah, it looks pretty nice in here. So that's going to do it for this one. We tested all 3 lighting mods, and you know, again, everybody's likes and dislikes and their wants and needs are going to be different. So even though this combination doesn't have the immersion of the window lighting, the way it handles lighting by reducing the ambient light and properly placing light sources where they should be makes it an excellent choice for playing stealthy. So it's still one I'm going to consider. Now I may do one more video because there are 2 locales that we didn't look at. Dwemer Ruins and Imperial Forts. And I would kind of like to take a look at those. Those places have few, if any, windows. In fact, Nordic ruins, caves, they don't either. So the window lighting thing isn't that big of an issue there. Or much of an issue at all, actually. But I still want to see what the overall lighting looks like, how the light sources look. So we may do another video where I go through all 3 lighting mods in those 2 types of interiors. Anyhow, that is going to do it for now. Hopefully this is helpful to you. I'm not sure if I have a favorite one or a preferred one yet. I'll probably have to watch this video a couple of times and watch the other ones a couple of times, do a little more comparisons myself. But anyway, it's a nice combination. If you find something like this, you like the look of it, but it's a little too dark, the newer versions are a little bit lighter. They might be a little more to your liking, and of course the one of the latest versions of Relighting Skyrim has the Window Shadows mod built into it. So anyway, that'll do it for now. Thanks for watching. Take it easy, and I will see you next time.